So to implement this kind of scenario, I'm going to create infra on AWS, and to create infra on AWS, this time I'm going to use Terraform. So we will see a bit of Terraform as well in this particular demo. So let me walk you through the Terraform code. So we have instance.tf file in which we have specified certain data, like we want AWS AMI, which is Ubuntu based, and the owner should be the account number. Then I have filter and I want to give it a name, and the value should come from a variable called image_name. Then I am using another filter. The name of the root device type should be EBS, and then there is another filter that is virtualization type, that is HVM. And then we have resource AWS instance, and I am giving it a name Jenkins, and the AMI I am using is from the variable we have just defined, that is data.aws_ami.ubuntu.id. Then we have instance type, which will come from a variable, and we have security groups defined, and then key name, which is staging server, and I am giving a tag name as Jenkins server, and then I am specifying the connection to be type SSH, host is the public IP, and the user is Ubuntu, and private key as the private key file path, and timeout I am setting is 4 minutes. This is for the SSH connection. And then we have provisioner file, and it is a bash script, Jenkins setup.sh. So this provisioner file, that is Jenkins setup.sh, will install and set up Jenkins. And on remote server, that is the server we are going to create using this Terraform, it is going to copy it on /home/ubuntu Jenkins setup.sh. So till here we have provisioner, we have Jenkins setup file, then we have another provisional file called node setup.sh, which will set up node for us. Then as you can see, we have jcask YML file as well, which we have already seen in previous videos. So we are going to use Jenkins as code, and then I'm using another provisioner for remote execution, and then I'm executing all these things. First we are making Jenkins setup file as executable using chmod command, and then we are creating a directory called jenkins/config, and then moving the jcask file inside that config folder, and then making node setup.sh file executable and then executing it. After that we are creating more instances, AWS instance called stage prod. I am giving it count 2, that is 2 instances are going to be created using this AMI, instance type, and security groups, and key value name is staging server, and I am giving it a tag staging and production. Connection type will be SSH. I am also passing provisioner file to be node setup.sh because I want my staging and production server to have node already installed, because Jenkins is going to deploy Node.js app on these server. So I want these server to be provisioned with node. So this is our Jenkins setup.sh script. Here we are just enabling the debugging by doing set-x and doing apt-get update, and then installing JDK, and then we are installing Jenkins and enabling Jenkins and starting Jenkins. So all these we have already seen, so I'm not explaining all these things in details. And then we have node setup.sh script here, which is simply installing Node.js, npm, pm2. Then we have java setup.sh script, which is going to install JDK. And then we have deploy prod.sh. This script is going to deploy production, and deploy staging.sh is going to deploy staging. So in prod we will set up the repo URL, and then we will check if it already exists, we are going to pull it. If it doesn't, then we are going to clone it. And in deploy staging we have similar script, it's just that the branch will be develop, and here in the deploy prod.sh the branch would be main. So this is the difference, remaining part is almost same, and this is a simple bash script which I am using to deploy it. And obviously in production, like you don't often do git clone or git pull kind of thing. Nowadays container environment is quite popular, so you simply pull the image and you run your application in Kubernetes using containers. But this is to give you an idea on how you can actually deploy your GitHub code, because most of the developers or who are new into the DevOps field might not know containers or Kubernetes, which is why I'm keeping this demo to use git clone or git pull. But feel free to modify all these scripts based on your use case. You can find all these code. It is available at github.com/appchipdevops. So this is simple bash code. It's all under script folder. Let us open a terminal now. So now we are going to run the Terraform. Let us run terraform apply -- auto approve. So auto approve is not going to ask my permission, and it's simply going to run the Terraform code. Okay, it has started reading all the data, and it is going to create all these resources which you can see in the output. And as you can see, it has started creating security group, instance, stage prods. It is creating all the instance. It might take some time depending on the resources you are trying to create. Okay, as you can see, apply is complete. It has added 4 resources. That means it has created all the required servers that we wanted.